Hello. I want to talk about the Peaceable Kingdom, where the lion lays down with the lamb. I know they've changed the narrative for a lamb laying down with a wolf, but I remember lamb and lion. Let me know what you remember. I have some notes again. I've been interested in the topic of the kingdom. And from my last upload, I shared that I've come to question historical timelines. And I am a scholar of the Bible, and I look at history and then Bible history and try to get some reconciliation there. So I shared last time that I do believe that 1,000 or more years, I'll just say 1,000, are missing from the timeline of our world history. So it's possible that the millennial reign of Christ occurred already. And that is staggering to think about. It's amazing. I shared also in my last upload that I don't believe that we are headed for the tribulation period that I used to believe in terms of I adhered to the rapture theory. And the one rapture out of the three that I adhered to was the pre-tribulation rapture. That's the best one, where you get to eject out of this thing and fly away and just avoid everything. You don't even get to die. You don't get to meet the Antichrist. You're just out of here, okay? Real easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? So I don't believe that anymore, and if it offends you, I don't know what to say about that. We arrive at different places. So I believe in that short season of Satan. And let me talk about just briefly, and this was interesting. I've been listening to a lot of people talking about the kingdom, and when you think about the mother of James and John, the apostle, James and John, the apostles rather, and their mother, typical of any mother, I would think, wanting her sons to get a good position, she was jockeying for her sons to come into the kingdom and be prominent. Like, she wanted them to sit at his right hand and left hand. So she was asking for a lot. And, well, she had a reality check when Jesus did a little coming to Jesus with her. And he let her know that basically she did not know truly what she was asking for. And that's a lot of us. That's me. You want things that you just don't know the true cost of having it. And to drink from his cup, in essence, we know what that turned out to be. The cup that he had to drink from. So, his kingdom, and this is what we possibly have missed about his kingdom. And the people at the time, they wanted him to come into his kingdom and just tear the Romans up and everybody else, the Egyptians, the Greeks, all of them, just tear them up, right? Whereas this kingdom that he spoke about was a kingdom that is antithetical to what we would imagine from learning about earthly kingdoms and kings of the world and the things that they put people through, petty dictators and things like that. When people get power and money and influence, basically, they can become tyrannical. But Jesus described his kingdom in which the leader would be the servant of the people. Wow, what a concept. Think about just how opposite. I was just, pondering on this. And we've heard of servant leadership. I've been in corporate America. I used to work in big pharma, Astra Merck and AstraZeneca and all that. And they would have us reading these books, leadership books all the time about servant leadership. But to me, we have not achieved such in this system. And I think we give it just, lip service, truly. It doesn't equate to what Jesus was describing of leaders and kingdom. His kingdom would be where the servants are the highest. Okay? So the people that serve others they are the ones in the top positions in the kingdom society and culture, if you want to say that. It's totally the opposite of what we see in our system here, in the world system, the beast system. And the governments and things as they are becoming more draconian, and it's all about controlling people and trying to force consent and compliance through mandates and fear and propaganda. That is the opposite of what the peaceable kingdom would be, where we wouldn't even recognize a kingdom like this because of what we've seen so far. So I'm referring to my notes here, if you don't mind. So the beast system that we are used to is built on oppression, cruelty, slavery. And, slavery is still going on at this moment. And people only want to see one period of time as the enslavement of human beings, and that's just not the true picture. So in the millennial kingdom, we wonder, was it physical? Was it spiritual? But one of the things that I've heard different people talk about, and I want to have more expanded and elevated conversation about this, was that our mindsets, when we are influenced by this world system and we begin to take after it, the pattern of this world system, the generation was called evil because they wanted to see signs and wonders. They want to see things. They want their faith to be confirmed by things that they can see, touch, taste, smell, right, through the five senses. And only an evil generation wants to seek after signs and wonders. That will get you caught up in a trick bag. Trust me, I have been there. And when you think about a servant kingdom where free will is respected, the sovereignty of the individual, of the human being, there's no force, there's no mandating, and people get to choose. So I think about how to reconcile this new information that I'm starting to look into, is that during the millennial reign, I am imagining that this is when goodness would be able to dwell, and it wouldn't be overtaken by the darkness, the evil. So when people get to choose, they're truly choosing out of free will in a free society. If you get what I'm sort of, this is a beginning of understanding for me. I'm just thinking about it. So think about it this way. If we lived in a society that was marked by more fairness as opposed to unfairness, and you were given the choice of what side, I guess, in the division of being in this world system, do you choose darkness or light, evil or good? And through freedom and peace and human achievement, because I believe that the millennial kingdom was marked by great human achievement, a very elevated sense of of dignity in your humanity and being a child of the Most High God, most people believing that, and we wouldn't have all of this darkness that attacks truth and beauty and light. So imagine a time like 1,000 years where you don't have the propaganda coming through the, devices. And yes, I believe they had technology that was very advanced. We look at the architecture, we look at I think about the way that they traveled. And I believe that there were zephyrs or airships, and also the trains that were in operation. They were very elegant, and I believe that that was the standard. Like, it wasn't all of this, divisions between economics. It was fair. So imagine the marketplace being fair and everybody being able to trade their goods and services, and the playing field is evened. That's what I'm beginning to think was happening before this, whatever happened. If you want to call it a reset in the 1800s, something happened. But imagine human achievement and just an elevated society. And Jesus Christ, the King of this kingdom, would be reigning. And what would the people do? Would they still rebel? That's the question. It's a freedom to choose. So some people would choose to rebel even in perfect circumstances, I believe. So in this peaceable kingdom, to become the greatest, you become the lowest. And that is very different from the, very prideful, just boss, all of that diva, boss, what I said, boss, that haughty spirit. And faith is something that pleases the Most High. And he says that you don't have to have a whole lot of faith. Just the amount of a mustard seed. That's not a lot. So this is a deal that when you think about it, it's like I see so many positives to this deal. You don't have to bring a lot or anything to the table, but just a little bit of faith. And he describes that faith that is innocent, like a child. You don't need signs and wonders. You don't need to do tit for tat and try to prove God according to this system of science, because eternity is already in the heart of all of us. So when we deny a creator, we're violating our own conscience and our own heart, because a lot of us know, without having a Bible or anyone to tell you, people meet God on the level of whatever their experience in this world is. He reveals himself and confirms his reality to each and every one of us. Now, this ties in with where we are in terms of the short season of Satan. So I'm starting to see that it makes sense. This Satan, however you want to look at it, I'm looking at it like, I've heard people again say that it could be these secret societies that have been unleashed on us, and they are backed by this banking cartel, and they oppress the people through the system. I mean, everything is tyrannical. We are here, this meme right here. This is where we are, where we're being gaslit. Truth is suppressed. Beauty is suppressed. even down to the food and water and air. Everything has been corrupted. And I want to talk about some of the root cause analysis and where we went wrong and how we can prepare in these days and have hope. I have a lot of hope, and I hope that I'm sharing the hope that we can all have and not fear. Don't fear anything. Whatever they're threatening, these mandates coming and all this stuff, just stand. We did it in 2020, okay? And if you want to lean on any one of us that have stood against this, just, you know where to find a lot of us. And we want to encourage you. A lot of us do. A lot of us need to forgive a lot of people, and we have to work on that. So we have to recognize that something terrible happened to divide the people and take our eyes off of who is our real true enemy. And a lot of this is a spiritual war against us. And it's not about white and black and all this division and woman and man. We have fallen for the tricks. And the people that have been at the helm of these institutions of education, Hollywood, government, and corporate America, or the global corporate system, they are the ones that are pulling the levers of power. And they only make up like 1% or less of the world population. And we are fearing, a lot of us, we're fearing this group. So I look forward to having conversations about this, and I'm understanding it a lot more, I just have to say. So I want to thank you for, watching. I'll put these videos up. If I do longer content, I'll make sure it's on my backup YouTube, and I'll put those links in the description, okay? And let me know what you think in the comments, and I appreciate it. Take care. Talk to you soon.